They used to last 20 years. Now they struggle to survive 5. And it's not by accident, it's by design. European cars, once icons of precision and reliability, are now built to fail just past 100,000 kilometers. Every shortcut, every hidden flaw is intentional, engineered for profit, not longevity. These are the 7 dirty secrets they'll never admit. But after this video, you'll never see your car the same way again. Secret number 1, algorithmic failure planning. Your car isn't just a machine anymore. It's a data harvesting computer on wheels. Every system, from your throttle to your oil pump, is tracked, logged, and calculated by an algorithm living inside your ECU. What most drivers don't know is that these algorithms don't just monitor health, they predict failure. And worse, they predict it strategically. See, back in the early 2000s, European car makers introduced predictive maintenance as a reliability upgrade. But what happened next quietly redefined how cars were built. The ECU began collecting lifetime data, from how often you brake to how long you idle, feeding millions of data points into cloud systems that determine one thing: when a part should die. For example, BMW's N20 engine is notorious for timing chain failures just after 100,000 kilometers, so common they triggered a class action lawsuit. Audi's EA888 engine family also faces cam bridge and oil starvation issues around the same mileage, despite being marketed as long-lasting. And it's no coincidence that most of these parts hit failure just beyond the factory warranty window. It's precision failure, programmed, not accidental. If your alternator, injectors, or fuel pump give out at 105,000 kilometers, it's not bad luck, it's mathematical inevitability. These systems are designed to delay your dashboard warning lights until damage becomes irreversible, meaning by the time your car tells you there's a problem, the problem's already terminal. Car companies call this efficiency modeling, but in reality, it's a calculated trade-off. They save millions in warranty claims, while drivers spend billions on post-warranty repairs. The cold truth is this: your car already knows when it will die. The algorithm made sure of it. Secret number 2, integrated submodules, forced replacement. Once upon a time, if a small sensor failed, you'd replace just the sensor. But modern European engineering doesn't believe in just. They merge small, inexpensive parts into massive sealed modules, transforming a €10 issue into a €1,000 crisis. Take the throttle body, for instance. A single faulty position sensor can't be swapped anymore. It's molded into the housing, fused with electronics that can't be accessed without destroying the part. A €20 sensor failure? That's now a €700 throttle body replacement. Same goes for coolant manifolds, EGR valves, and even headlight assemblies. Manufacturers disguise this under words like integration and efficiency. But integration doesn't mean smarter engineering. It means forced dependency. Every time a €10 part fails, you're forced to buy an entire system. And these modules are sealed for a reason, not to keep out dust or water, but to keep you out. Repair becomes replacement. Independence becomes obedience. Volkswagen's EA211 coolant manifold is a classic example. If the integrated temperature sensor fails, you're forced to replace the entire manifold. What should cost €40 becomes a €900 job. BMW's Valvetronic actuator follows the same pattern: non-serviceable, sealed, and priced to hurt. European brands once celebrated precision craftsmanship. Now they celebrate revenue streams disguised as innovation. When they lock multiple cheap sensors inside an electronic block, they know exactly what they're doing. Because when everything is fused, nothing can be fixed. These designs aren't mistakes. They're milestones in a quiet evolution of control. The moment one module fails, you're funneled back into the dealership system. It's a circle engineered to bleed wallets, not to build reliability. Secret number 3, fragile electronics and connector decay. You might think car failures are mechanical: pistons, belts, gaskets. But today, most breakdowns after 100,000 kilometers aren't metal. They're microchips. Modern ECUs are surrounded by heat, vibration, and moisture, the 3 killers of electronic stability. Yet, manufacturers still place these components in hot zones, right beside turbochargers or exhaust systems. Why? Because when they fail, they're almost impossible to diagnose, and even harder to fix outside authorized service. Tin-plated connectors, once replaced by gold or nickel for durability, have quietly returned. But tin corrodes faster, especially when exposed to temperature swings and humidity. After a few years, connectors decay, harnesses wick moisture, and circuits short intermittently, creating ghost errors that even diagnostic tools struggle to trace. Mechanics describe these issues as random electrical faults. But they're not random at all. They're the inevitable outcome of downgraded materials and strategic placement. Each wire harness, each connector, has a life expectancy, and in most European models, that lifespan aligns disturbingly close to 100,000 kilometers. After that, you're not facing a simple repair. You're facing electronic decay. This isn't about cost saving. It's about planned inconvenience. Because every unpredictable failure keeps you tethered to dealership diagnostics and specialized software tools. You can't just fix it, you have to decode it. And here's the hidden layer. When those connectors start corroding, the ECU starts misreading data. Fuel trims shift, sensors give false readings. The engine begins overcompensating, burning more fuel, creating heat, accelerating further decay. It's a domino effect that appears organic but is deeply systematic. Because in the end, it's not a mechanical failure, it's electronic decay, engineered to stay invisible. If this is already making you think twice about your next car, smash that like button and subscribe, because what's coming next is even worse. Secret number 4, sealed cooling and fluid systems. Once upon a time, you could drain and refill your coolant or transmission fluid with a few tools and a free afternoon. Today, those same systems are maintenance-free. That phrase sounds convenient, but it's a quiet trap. European automakers began sealing, cooling, and fluid systems in the mid-2000s. It was marketed as a breakthrough. No leaks, no servicing, no worries. But the reality is much darker. These sealed systems can't be flushed, bled, or even inspected without special factory tools. Coolant reservoirs are welded shut, filters are hidden inside casings, and transmission ports, gone. Everything is designed to keep you, the owner, completely out. You can't maintain what you can't access. Over time, small particles of aluminum, gasket residue, and chemical sediment begin to circulate inside those sealed systems. Normally, you'd flush them out, but now there's nowhere for them to go until they build up and clog a channel. When that happens, the pressure rises quietly inside the pipes, heating until plastic reservoirs warp or crack. And when that happens, it's never a €30 fix. It's a full module replacement. It's genius, really, not in engineering, but in economics. Every sealed system traps where debris like a ticking time bomb. Every failure means new parts, new labor, and new profit. They call it progress. But it's progress built on restriction. The truth is simple. They didn't seal the system to protect the car. They sealed it to protect their income. Secret number 5, dealer-locked diagnostics. Your car is smart, frighteningly smart. Every light, every sensor, every click of the ignition sends data through an invisible network of modules. But here's the catch. Since 2021, major European brands like Mercedes, Volkswagen, and BMW began encrypting that data. It's called dealer-locked diagnostics. In the past, independent mechanics could plug into your car's OBD port to read and clear faults. Today, they can't. Manufacturers introduced systems like SFD in Volkswagen and Audi, and Zentry in Mercedes-Benz, encryption layers that require factory authorization codes to access or reset anything critical. Even simple things like clearing an airbag warning or programming a new battery are now locked behind corporate firewalls. Independent garages are being phased out, one encrypted code at a time. And while they claim it's for security and data integrity, the pattern is clear. You can't service your car without their permission. You can't program a new key, reset a service warning, or reflash a module unless the manufacturer says so. It's like buying a car, but never owning its brain. This strategy funnels every customer back into the dealership ecosystem. Every error message becomes a revenue alert. Every encryption key becomes a gatekeeping tool. And as repair independence fades, corporate dependency grows stronger. It's no longer about cars, it's about control. And the most unsettling part? This system isn't stopping at diagnostics. Soon, even third-party parts may require digital verification before they're recognized by the ECU. That means a car that literally rejects your attempt to repair it yourself. They've taken ownership and turned it into subscription. What used to be yours now belongs to the manufacturer. Secret number 6, overcomplex emission systems. Saving the planet shouldn't mean destroying your wallet, but that's exactly what's happening under the hood of modern European cars. Emission systems used to be simple, a catalytic converter, maybe an EGR valve. But now, we've got mini SCR injectors, plastic EGR coolers, and DPFS, diesel particulate filters, made from cheap, heat-sensitive materials. They look sophisticated on paper, but on real roads, they're disasters waiting to happen. These systems are designed to pass lab tests, not to survive daily driving. During certification, cars run in perfect conditions, steady speeds, clean fuel, controlled temperature. But once you hit real traffic, dust, humidity, and uneven loads, everything changes. Mercedes' OM642 engine suffers from EGR cooler cracks that lead to coolant leaks and turbo damage, often post-warranty. Meanwhile, Audi dealers are now offering DPF pre-cleaning at 80,000 kilometer intervals because they know city driving will clog them well before their official lifespan. The plastic EGR coolers start warping under thermal stress. The mini injectors clog with soot. The DPF, designed to regenerate at high temperature, fails in short city drives. The result? Clogged filters, reduced power, and check engine lights flashing right after, you guessed it, 100,000 kilometers. The emissions warranty? It's often capped just below that mileage. Perfect timing. And when the system fails, you're not replacing a small component. You're replacing an entire chain of them. One bad sensor can ruin the SCR injector, which ruins the DPF, which ruins the turbo. A chain reaction that empties savings accounts in days. Manufacturers call this eco-engineering. But the truth? It's engineered expiration. They could have built stronger EGRs, metal SCR housings, better DPF materials. They didn't. Because predictable failures after 100,000 kilometers feed the same cycle. Replace, pay, repeat. It's a perfect illusion. Sell sustainability, profit from decay. Secret number 7, predictive leasing strategy. Once upon a time, European cars were symbols of craftsmanship, designed to outlive their owners. Today, they're designed to outlast their leases. Modern automakers don't build for the long run anymore. They build for the leasing cycle. Behind every sleek model brochure lies a simple formula: 3 to 5 years of reliability, just enough to survive the lease contract and a few months after. Beyond that, failures become acceptable. Inside corporate test documents, there's a chilling phrase: post-second owner degradation. That means parts can start failing after the car changes hands once or twice because the first owner, usually a lease driver, won't notice. By the time the second owner buys it, the clock is already ticking. It's not a coincidence, it's a calculation. Every component, from timing actuators to plastic coolant tanks, is tested for survival through the leasing window. Anything that lasts beyond it is considered overbuilt and non-cost efficient. The logic is simple. The market thrives when you replace, not when you maintain. So the industry quietly shifted its philosophy. Cars aren't engineered for families anymore. They're engineered for fleets. They're optimized for resale, not resilience. Leasing programs generate steady revenue, predictable, renewable, and perfectly controlled. Manufacturers get guaranteed turnover, dealerships get repeat customers, and repair networks get a steady flow of post-lease breakdowns. And the saddest part? Even certified pre-owned cars are part of the loop. Their inspection checklists are designed to keep them barely within tolerance, just long enough to pass a test drive and survive another year or two. After that, the same pattern of predictable decay returns. This is no longer a failure of engineering, it's a failure of intention. European automakers once built machines meant to last a generation. Now, they build contracts with wheels. They stopped building cars for people and started building them for lease contracts. Bonus secret: eco-material scams. They call it sustainability, but in the fine print, it's sabotage disguised as progress. In the name of going green, European manufacturers began using soy-based wiring insulation, an organic, biodegradable material meant to reduce plastic waste. On paper, it sounds noble, but here's what they don't tell you. Rodents love soy. The insulation attracts mice and rats that chew through wiring harnesses like snacks. Soon, dashboards light up like Christmas trees. Airbags fail. Sensors go dark, all in the name of being eco-friendly. Europe went green right down to the wiring that feeds your check engine light. Every one of these failures isn't a coincidence, it's a calculation. The shift from engineering excellence to profit-driven design has created a 100,000-kilometer death cycle built right into modern European cars. Analysts estimate tens of billions are lost every year to failures made on purpose. They could build cars that last. They choose not to. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and share this with a friend. This is Vroom Diagnosis. Thanks for watching and drive smart.